Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone.
It is Monday at 4:04, and we're ready to eat our one meal for today, so we're super excited
Happy
about
dance.
that. So it says invite friends. Let's see how that works. Who should I invite? I have to invite everybody individually.
Oh, that could take a long time.
That would take me forever. I don't have time for that.
No.
So we won't do that today. If you want to be invited when we do these, let me know and I'll add you to a list so that I can invite you. But I'm not going to just randomly invite people. I think that's a little obnoxious and it'll take me forever.
Right.
But so we're going to talk a little bit about what we're going to have for our 500-calorie meal. What did you decide on?
I am having some leftovers for today, which is the pasta I made yesterday, which is brown rice pasta is the base. And on top of it is the sauce that I used was a organic sauce. And in that I added peas, chickpeas, onions, mushrooms, and spinach, as well as garlic.
Yep.
I'm Italian, gotta have garlic.
Right. It looks kind of dry right now, so I don't know, maybe you'll have to add a little more sauce to it.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, and I'm also going to be adding some nutritional yeast.
And if you don't know what nutritional yeast is, it's supposed to have a cheesy flavor. I don't know if I buy that or not, but it's supposed to be really, really good for you.
And it's high in protein as well.
Yeah, so we have it in the house and we do use it. It definitely works best if you heat it. So if you put it in something that you're going to heat, it works better. Otherwise, it's kind of a dry,
pasty.
Yeah, it's not very good.
Right.
But so nutritional yeast. I was struggling today with what I was going to eat because I didn't really feel like anything. It's kind of a blah day as far as food goes for me. So I've decided to go ahead and have a salad. I washed some spinach, so that's going to be the base, the green base. And then you can see I have the pumpkin seeds and the sunflower seeds and the hemp. And I'm going to put raisins on it as a treat because those are yummy. And then I have avocado and red pepper.
Tomatoes.
Oh, that's the tomatoes over there from our garden. Our garden is still producing tomatoes, which is awesome. There's a little bit of broccoli left from the other day, so I'll put that on there. And then I have some chickpeas for protein. Right. So that's what I'm going to have. And then I have apple cider vinegar that I'll add to it. And then I put a little bit of salad dressing on mine, which is not ideal, but they always say if it'll help you eat more vegetables, then go ahead and do it. So right. I do like to put a little bit of salad dressing on my salads.
Correct. So
that's what we're doing as far as our meal for today. I did get a question. I know I mentioned it this morning when we came on to talk about our workout. I got a question about, well, you guys have always been super, super healthy. So how big a stretch was it for you really to go whole food plant-based? And Russ and I talked about that some over the weekend, and I thought maybe we'd share with you kind of what our diet was before. Oh, what's Chuck asking? So chocolate dipped veggies then. Oh, right. Yeah, that's the plan, Chuck.
Yes.
Thank you. Ridiculousness. Yeah. It's good to see you, actually. I thought about you this morning. I hadn't seen you in a while, Chuck, so it's nice to see you this morning, or this afternoon, rather. So I wanted to talk about what our diet was before, because, yes, we were considered healthy, and some people even considered us health nuts before we went whole food plant-based. Now I'm not. Now we're just health crazy, I guess. I'm not sure what's worse than nuts. But can you want to talk a little bit, since you did most of our cooking prior to going whole food, what did we eat?
So, and again, with a little bit of my background being an ex-competitive bodybuilder, that I always felt that every meal had to have a meat-based protein. So for the better part of 30-something years, I ate a lot of chicken, I ate a lot of fish, I ate a lot of turkey, very little beef. I was never a big beef eater. Mm-hmm. But my belief was by eating chicken, turkey, and fish, I was actually doing better for my system. Because meat supposedly was worse for you, it was going to give you higher cholesterol, especially higher LDL. The thing we found out after doing a lot of research, watching all these documentaries, reading all these books, that it doesn't matter what meat product you use, they all are equal in the category of bad, which is the easiest way I can say it. They're going to all do the same damage as far as cholesterol goes, mostly because of the type of grain they're fed or the type of antibiotics they're given.
Even if it's organic, it's still
even
not
if
great.
It's organic. And the thing about organic beef or chicken or turkey is for it to be truly organic, they have to be raised in an area that's not one field away from where they're using Raid to Roundup to harvest the crop, or they're not or another crop's not GMO, or they're using some kind of products that the air can make it travel to a section that's supposed to be organic. But that might
Back to the diet.
Yeah, that might be getting off the path a little bit. So again, every meal it either had chicken. Breakfast, I had a lot of eggs.
Always milk.
Always milk. Had a lot of yogurt. So that was what it was. That was what our base of a lot of our diets were, and vegetables too. I mean, we always ate vegetables. Always ate like a potato or rice or something like that to go with it. But when I got my results back, and I found that my LDL kept going up, and the only thing that we've eliminated from the protein is the meat-based products, and now it's going down. You can see the conclusion that we came to.
Yeah, so for breakfast, we used to eat, now he still ate oatmeal, but he would put milk in it.
And whey protein.
And whey protein, right. And I would have a smoothie, or I would have yogurt, but I always there was milk, always milk. We were drinking a gallon of milk each a week or every 10 days.
About every 10 days, yeah.
So we were drinking a lot of milk.
Right.
And then for lunch, we would eat leftover for whatever had been for dinner the night before. So
Right.
if he made fish, then we would have fish for lunch. Or if he made chicken, we would have chicken for lunch.
Correct.
So every single meal, we sat down and talked about it over the weekend, and we realized every single meal we were eating before we went plant-based had meat, animal, I guess, not necessarily meat, but animal protein in it.
Yeah, some form of animal protein.
And that definitely is not good for us. What is Chuck saying now? Blood work never lies. Your only true barometer. That
is true.
And I wish that Facebook wouldn't make it so gray so I have to squint. I know it makes me look ridiculous when I lean over and squint, but what am I going to do? I can't see it. So, so for us, it was actually a really big change. People can say, oh, you guys were healthy. It wasn't a huge change, but it really was, because for us, we had to eliminate the meat product, and that meant figuring out, well, what can we eat? And that required research. And I guess that's kind of why we're trying to do these videos every day for you guys, because we had to make that change, and I had to read a lot of books, and we looked at a lot of documentaries. Right. And so we're trying to give you the opportunity to see how we're eating now that we've made it through that change. So we, are over that hump, I guess. Although I realize today I'm a little bit bored, and so I actually went, if you go to minimalistbaker.com, she has a lot of vegan recipes on there that are super simple. Some of them have stuff in them that I don't keep in the house, like almond milk and whatever, so I'll have to figure that out. She has some coconut milk that I don't really like coconut, but I found a whole bunch of recipes, probably a dozen, that I figured, you know what, I'll try them.
Give them a try.
I'll see.
Yeah.
So some of them, like riced cauliflower was one of them, and then she had a thing where she used quinoa and then made it and then put spices in it and then baked it, and she said that gives it more of a meat texture. I don't know if that's really possible or not, but hey, you know what? I'll give it a try.
We'll give it a try, see what happens.
So I'm definitely game to try some different recipes and look for interesting things, because you know what? I get bored with food pretty easily. I'm not a foodie. Food needs to be easy. I don't want it to be complicated. A friend of mine, actually, if you go on one of our videos, she said, oh, Robin, you shouldn't microwave your sweet potato. You should put it in the oven in 400 for 40 minutes. It's so yummy then. And I'm like,
spaghetti squash,
yeah. Sorry, we're reading Chuck's comment as we're talking. But what I told her was, that means I have to know I want a sweet potato 40 minutes before I want to eat it. And the likelihood of my realizing I want to have a sweet potato 40 minutes before I want to eat it is pretty much slim to none. I can barely wait, 5 minutes for the microwave. So is it as yummy as when you put it in the oven? Absolutely not. It is yummier if you put it in the oven, but I won't.
You don't think that far.
I don't think that far in advance. I just don't think about food that way.
I guess another interesting point between the two of us is that she said she likes to, like when she wants to eat something, say, what do I feel like having? Mm-hmm. And I've always, since my bodybuilding days, which is a long time ago, always looked at food as a fuel source. So I'm never like, oh, I feel like having this, I feel like having that. I just say, what's going to give me nutritional value, and let's eat it. And I don't put a lot of thought into the taste or the flavor. Not that I don't like things that taste well. It's just I always think about it as fuel, as opposed to, I don't know. Yummy, I guess. Yeah.
The other thing for me too, and some of you who know me know this, I was borderline anorexic in my 20s, and so for me, food has a very different quality than it does for a lot of people. And I know that some people have said, oh, you're fasting, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're going to become anorexic. It's a very different thing, a very different way of thinking about food. So anorexia actually doesn't have anything to do with food. It has to do with control. And those of you who know my story know that in my 20s, I had very little control in my life. My life isn't there anymore. I'm not there emotionally anymore. So I don't think there's any risk. Do I like watching the scale go down? Yeah, I do. It's fun. Yeah. But I also have the ability to look at my face, and I can tell that I've lost weight and when I look at my face. 15 pounds doesn't seem like a whole lot, but I can definitely see it. So for those of you who are worried, don't worry, it's fine. But it does change the way I think about food and the way I think about eating. So just an interesting, I guess, point of note. What do you think?
I think it's time to eat. That's what I think.
You're hungry. You've been hungry for a while.
Yes.
So yeah, so that's our story.
And we're sticking to it.
Well, for now anyway.
For now.
But yeah, so for us, it was a big change, even though people have said, oh, you guys are always healthy, so it wasn't a big deal. No, it was a big deal for us to decide we're not going to eat meat and animal products. And we had to really educate ourselves of, okay, if you're not eating animal products, what are we eating? Because especially in America today, when people say that to us, well, what do you eat? What can you possibly eat? You have to educate yourself. So that's what we're trying to do with this, is let people know, hey, this is what you can eat if you're going to go whole food, plant-based. And there's some yummy stuff out there. And if any of these recipes I found turn out to be really good, I'll let you guys know. Or, maybe I'll pop on and actually cook with you or something.
There you go.
That might be interesting.
Yeah, that could be fun, right?
But we'll be back tomorrow morning. We'll show you our breakfast.
Right.
Let me guess what you're going to eat.
I'm gonna probably look at the oatmeal shelf and pick a certain type of oatmeal.
Exactly. That one kind of oatmeal we have.
Right.
But yeah, we'll be back. I don't know what I'll eat for breakfast. I'll let you know tomorrow when I'm going to eat breakfast. Chuck is saying something else. I've learned the volume of food you actually need is much less than the norm. Oh yeah,
yep,
that's very true. American food, they feed you a ton. It's unbelievable the amount of food they give you in restaurants and such. And even for us, when you make a plate, you make it what you're used to, and it's probably more food than you actually need to eat.
Yes, exactly. My eyes tend to be bigger than my stomach, so.
That's true.
Yeah.
So we'll be back tomorrow morning. We'll let you know about our workouts. What are you doing in the gym tomorrow?
Tomorrow, my goal is to do back and biceps, as well as my 10-minute blitz for cardio, and hopefully I'll be able to tag on either calves or abs. We'll see. Stay tuned, folks. That's ambitious.
Tomorrow is a cardio day for me. I may swim. We'll see. I do have an event I have to go to for lunch tomorrow, and so having my hair be wet from the pool could be a bit of a challenge, but we'll see. I may swim, I may bike ride, but it's a cardio day for me tomorrow. Right. So are we done?
I think we're done.
All right, we're going to go eat. Thanks for joining us. We enjoy having you here, and thanks for chatting. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Right, and remember, eat food, not too much, and mostly plants.
Have a good afternoon.
Have a good afternoon, folks.
Bye, guys.